7 law enforcement officers shot in South Carolina. What we know about the suspect in custody. Plus, the Northport man accused of shooting and killing his neighbor in court today. We'll hear from the victim's daughter. And new developments involving the investigation of a Manatee County school administrator. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. We start tonight in South Carolina, where community members are asking for prayers this evening after a gunman shot 7 law enforcement officers. One of them died and is being called a hero. Authorities say the suspect held children hostage while he fired at those officers. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the latest.
Police and first responders rushing to what authorities called an active shooter incident in Florence, South Carolina.
Investigators with the Florence County Sheriff's Office attempted to serve a search warrant. Suspect inside the residence opened fire on the investigators.
We have an officer down at this time.
County deputies and city officers shot in a neighborhood west of downtown, with officials asking residents to stay away and nearby West Florence High School put on lockdown.
Suspect is now in custody.
The wounded officers taken to the hospital, and crime scene investigators remaining on scene Wednesday evening collecting evidence for answers. Residents in the meantime are in disbelief.
It's really terrifying to just sit here and just wait.
Neighbors say they heard gunshots from inside their homes.
We talked to my wife and she heard the shots.
And tonight, all say their thoughts are with the victims.
Pray for these officers and their speedy recovery. Pray for the family who lost the bravest police officer that I have ever known.
Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Well, a woman who lives near the site of that shooting captured a scary moment on her cell phone. Reporter Patrick Lloyd has her story.
Shannon McGurn lives at a neighborhood that connects to the neighborhood where the shooting happened. She says this all started as a typical Wednesday, but ended as anything but.
We got home from work and picking up my daughter, and we're playing in the backyard, and we heard probably 2 to 3 gunshots.
Shannon McGurn says she didn't think much of those first few shots because there's a field nearby where she hears gunshots every now and then.
It was about 30 minutes after the initial 3 shots. It was gunfire. It literally sounded like fireworks.
That's when she started shooting this video. You can also hear her baby crying. Her baby is just 19 months old.
You have the temptation to look outside through the window, but again, with her, I mean, that's the last one I want near a window.
She says a lot was running through her head.
You know, there's that fear of, are they, on foot? Are they going to come here? I mean, you just don't know.
McGurn says this is one of those scenarios where you'd never think it happened near you, but it did. And when police officers are involved, she can't help but get sad.
I mean, my heart just goes out to, everyone that was affected in the home, the officers especially, and their families and their co-workers.
McGurn also told me her father is actually a highway patrolman based in Columbia, South Carolina. So with law enforcement involved in this incident today, this one definitely hits home for her. Reporting in Florence County for the Raycom News Network, I'm Patrick Lloyd.
Well, here on the Suncoast, we have new footage that may incriminate a man accused of shooting and killing his neighbor last month. John Krug Jr. is charged with the murder of Carl Berryman. This is surveillance video shown in court today. You can see their initial confrontation before Berryman starts to walk away. Now, we've stopped the video in the moment right before that shooting. One of Berryman's daughters stayed in the courtroom while they showed that footage.
And he did exactly what I thought he would. Stared at it with no remorse and no regret. And as soon as he saw everybody else's reaction, that's when he felt like, oh, what did I do?
John Krug Jr.'s attorney asked for his bond to be lowered, and the judge agreed. Krug's bond was reduced by half to $100,000. If he's able to meet that bond, he'll have to stay away from the neighborhood where that shooting happened and also surrender his passport. New at 11, Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are looking for a stolen car that got away from them earlier today. According to a press release, they spotted the gray Mercedes on US 41 and chased him down at speeds up to 110 miles per hour in West Palmetto. The suspect is described as a black male with a thin build in his 20s. Deputies say he got away when they approached slow traffic, and then he drove onto the shoulder of the road. Well, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast on this Wednesday evening. Bob?
Yeah, really quite nice out there right now, Jacqueline. 77 degrees. We have fair skies. The dew point comfortable at 70, and the humidity not as high as it has been. 79%. We have that east wind continuing. East wind has been beneficial as of late and taking that red tide well away from us for the most part in most areas. Now, it's still patchy. We'll talk more about that later. Still some showers along the east coast. It's a little weak upper level low just to the east of the state. That will give us a little bit better chance for a few scattered showers tomorrow, late afternoon and evening. But today we didn't see much at all, and tonight not much going on here. A few showers well offshore, pushing away from the coast. And as I mentioned, the showers along the east coast indicating that upper level low is still around. Our winds are going to stay out of the east as well, so that means temperatures will remain pretty warm. We'll see above average temperatures right in through Thursday, and no sea breeze developing tomorrow, so don't expect a lot of heavy rainfall for a long period of time. Temperatures generally in the 70s here, a little bit warmer in the Keys, now 84 degrees in Key West, and temperatures around town upper 70s to low 80s, 78 in Mayaca City now, 78 in Northport, and the Gulf water temperature now at 85 degrees. And as far as the futurecast goes, we're calling for clear skies overnight. And we'll take a look at the tropics in just a little bit and talk about that disturbance down to our south. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Concerned residents of Lido Key reached out to ABC7 about a dirty canal that borders dozens of homes. We sent crews to that neighborhood off of John Ringling between Polk Drive and Washington Drive to investigate a little further. That's where we find ABC7's Rick Adams tonight. Now, Rick, what did scientists have to say all about this?
Yeah, Jacqueline, good evening. It is a little bit of a mess here. There is a green algae in this canal. Here's what some residents on Lido Key have to live with. Their canal near St. Armand Circle and Lido Beach filled with what most scientists say is seagrass and benthic algae. This is drone footage of the canal one of our viewers shared with us.
It's devastating because you can't go out, we don't kayak, we don't do our activities because of this, and the smell is bad.
Debbie and her husband Dave say this is the worst it's ever been in the many years they've lived here, from the red tide to what's happening now.
Never seen it this bad. I mean, we've had red tide and the water gets kind of rusty color, but never like this.
An expert from Moat Marine Lab says the seagrass and green algae are most likely the effects of Florida red tide. We're being told it's a result of low dissolved oxygen in the water. Kevin Bales, president of the St. Armand's Residents Association, tells us this has been very hurtful to the area.
It's really not a pretty thing for wildlife. It's not a pretty thing for residents, and it's certainly been impacting the business here.
Moat Marine Lab says they will not have any more information on this situation until the water in this canal is tested. And the city of Sarasota says they won't be making any decisions on this canal until they speak with Moat Marine Lab. Reporting live from Lido Key this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Rick, thank you. New developments tonight in the investigation into the deputy superintendent for Manatee County Schools. Ron Serrano will be retiring from the school district as of December, pending the school board's approval. Serrano was suspended in August after the school district launched an investigation into a major software implementation that he was leading that was millions of dollars over budget and behind schedule. Today, the school district said Serrano decided to retire on his own, and that investigation remains ongoing. Well, two area football rivals seem to be making headlines for all the wrong reasons lately. This time, Braden River and Venice High Schools are at odds over a play in last Friday's game. This is the play at the center of that controversy. Take a look. Players from the Venice Indians tackle Braden River's wide receiver, Knowledge McDaniel, right before halftime. But you don't have to look very closely to see what looks like a Venice player throwing punches at McDaniels. The referees threw a flag on the play but made no mention of those alleged punches. Venice says its player was trying to punch the ball out of McDaniels' hands, not intentionally punch him. The Braden Rivers Athletic Department, though, thinks otherwise and sent in that game footage to the Florida High School Athletic Association for review. Now, this wouldn't be the first time the association has been notified of a situation involving those two teams.
These are two teams that just hate each other. I mean, rivalry is about sportsmanship and being competitive with each other. These teams are great. They both are. They're probably the two best teams in the area. But it transcends rivalry and it becomes hatred. These teams just don't like each other.
Well, now the Braden River player on the receiving end of those alleged punches has been in trouble for living with a family that doesn't live in the school district. He has been banned from postseason play. Meanwhile, the player who threw those punches was named Player of the Week by a Venice High School booster. The FHSAA says it is investigating and will make an announcement by this Friday. Well, starting next year, students taking courses through the State College of Florida's dual enrollment program will not be able to take those classes at their high school. Students will still be able to get college credit, but they'll have to take the classes online or at one of SCF's 3 campuses. SCF officials say its District Board of Trustees approved that change last week after learning there were inconsistencies when classes were taught off-site. But Manatee's school board chairman says he was unaware of any of those issues.
If there were issues regarding, let's just say, how students were being graded, if they had recognized any disparities in that, the appropriate approach would have been to bring it to the school district's attention.
Now, we asked SCF officials if this decision was financially based. They say it was strictly about those inconsistencies, blaming faculty oversight and the courses not meeting SCF standards. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus how the U.S. Coast Guard got a hold of more than 11 tons of cocaine this summer, and a big win for Florida's fight against opioids.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
The Players Center presents the wild Broadway season opener, Annie, Get Your Gun. There's no business like show business. This slice of magical American musical theater will thrill you with the classic tunes of Irving Berlin. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Annie, Get Your Gun, September 18th through October 7th. Let's go on with the show.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC7.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, Or maybe this? Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
All right, Bob, well, we have that midweek red tide report and kind of some better news that we'd like to hear.
2 weeks in a row now it's gone down. It's decreasing. It's still there, but not nearly as high as it has been. And with this strong east wind, it probably is one of the reasons why it kind of blows everything, keeps the water going out toward the Gulf as opposed to in toward the bay. And you can see the report there. We have still one area red there near Venice, but there's some just to the north of that are showing up as not present. So that's good. And by New Pass and also Siesta, it has gone down there as well. And just low concentration showing up at the north end of Anna Maria Island there. You can see it right there. But all in all, a little bit better. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this is going to be a trend over the upcoming weeks here as far as that goes. Now, we are looking at the ABC7 tower cam tonight and get a look at the spectacular sunset. We have these clouds around, just enough clouds to create these crepuscular rays that you see. What's happening is that the sunlight is being blocked by some of the taller clouds here as the sun is going below the horizon, and obviously a lot of photos sent in too. Here's some of them, just a few. This one from Lori said this is the first time she was able to get on the beach and not have a problem there out on Siesta, and that's a beautiful shot. And right there, Casey Key, Fred Seeger, also a regular contributor. Nice shot, Fred. And this one, Amber says that she had to stop, pull her car over and just get a picture of this and send it in. It was so beautiful out there. And I think people are just happy to see that the red tide is slowly at least getting better here along the Sun Coast. And we hope this is a trend that will continue. High pressure is a trend now. It's over the southeast, and this is going to block any kind of cold front coming down anytime soon. We're not going to have any cool weather on the way here for the foreseeable future. A long-range model showing that easterly wind will continue, and that will again keep that red tide, any of the ill effects going offshore mainly. Some showers are showing up on the east coast at this hour, indicating that there is a little weak disturbance in the upper levels of the atmosphere, which will be nearby tomorrow. You'll see that. We'll look fair overnight. We'll start the morning off really quite nice here again with an east wind, and should be comfortable out there. And then we'll start to warm up to the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. And you'll notice a little bit more red here, and yellows and reds showing up as well as greens tomorrow. So the rain chances will pick up a little bit tomorrow afternoon, then they'll go down again on Friday, just for football Friday night. Things are looking pretty good. Maybe a few brief showers around, but not much. Here's that dry air I mentioned too that kind of worked its way in today. There's that little weak upper level low which is nearby, and that's not going to be a big factor. And right now we don't know what kind of factor this system is down to our south going to be, but right now it's being sheared apart. There's some strong winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, but there is a broad circulation of low pressure in there in the southwest Caribbean, which is expected to take off to the northwest, and conditions could become a little bit more favorable for development as we move through time. In fact, next 5 days, 30%, so we don't expect anything over the next couple of days. But once it gets in this area, Saturday, Sunday, we'll have a better handle as to where this thing may be going if it develops at all. Right now, those chances are not all that high, but water temperatures they're high throughout the Gulf, and that means plenty of energy there. If something were to develop, we'd have to keep an eye on it very closely, obviously. This one, not too concerned about, but it's been spinning around and doesn't know where to go. It keeps going back and forth, up and down. This is Leslie, and it looks like it will continue to move off to the north and eventually off to the north and northeast and then off toward the east in time. So not a big deal there. It is, by the way, generating some big waves along the east coast and will do so. So wave heights are going to be pretty high over the upcoming days along the east coast. Our high today, speaking of that, was 90. That was above average. We'll see 90 again tomorrow. Right now it's cool down to 77 degrees. Well, here's the forecast for boaters. Winds will be a bit brisk to start the morning off. Northeast at 15 knots, subside somewhat. Seas will be running right around 2 feet with a light chop out there on the bays and inland waters. The 7-day forecast, 40% chance for late day showers and storms, otherwise sunny throughout the day. We drop it down to 20 on Friday and Saturday, back to 40 on Sunday, and temperatures staying warm throughout the next 7 days, upper 80s to low 90s. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Well, it was a busy summer for the U.S. Coast Guard, but a summer to be proud of. They got their hands on more than 11 tons of cocaine from 8 drug smuggling boats. Here you see Coast Guard members in action, jumping onto those smuggling boats and detaining the people on board. Those vessels were found and stopped off the coasts of Mexico, Central and South America by crews from the Stratton, Seneca, and Active.
Patrol up in Alaska, ended up down in east back. So it was a little bit of a hectic patrol going from one dynamic to another.
Officials say the drugs have a street value of more than $300 million. Well, here in Florida, a big win in the fight against opioid addiction. Today, the U.S. Senate passing Congressman Vern Buchanan's opioid bill. That proposal would create a national database for patients. The guide would link people with healthcare providers and give them access to federal opioid prescribing guidelines. It would also be free to everyone. Next, that bill will go to the president's desk for his signature. Well, Florida's 67 supervisors of elections are starting to send out vote-by-mail ballots this week. As of today, more than 2.5 million voters in the state had requested those vote-by-mail ballots. So far, more than 4,200 Floridians have already cast their votes, with just under 5 weeks remaining until Election Day. Leon County's supervisor of elections says people should take advantage of the options they have to cast their vote.
It's a very long ballot. We don't want to see lines like have been seen in the past, so that's why we're encouraging people to vote ahead of time, vote before Election Day, either by mail, as we're speaking today towards, or early voting.
Early expects voter turnout for the general election to be significantly higher than the 27.5% statewide percentage during last month's primary. Well, here's a deal specifically for fans of the Allman Brothers Band. Today, Tampa International Airport announced a new nonstop flight to Macon, Georgia. The airport tweeting, quote, "We've got your beeline to see the Allman Brothers Museum." Travelers can take advantage twice a week aboard Contour Airlines. Flights begin on December 19th. Well, a revolution based on evolution. 3 scientists have been working to harness the power of evolution to improve everything from the environment to medical treatments. It's work so groundbreaking they just won this year's Nobel Prize in Chemistry. George P. Smith, who you can see got a standing ovation at the University of Missouri today, shares the honor with Francis H. Arnold from Caltech and Sir Gregory P. Winter, an English chemist. The 3 are being praised for applying the principles of Darwin to the test tube.
I happen to be in the right place at the right time to put those things together. And I think also partly as a result of the fact that I didn't succeed in patenting this, that it was open science. I think it has been very, very influential in ways that I absolutely could not have anticipated.
Well, using the principles of genetic change and selection, the methods that these scientists have developed are already being put to work to create a greener chemicals industry, prevent disease, and also save lives. Meanwhile, Sarasota Memorial Hospital getting some recognition. The American Heart Association granting SMH its highest accreditation. SMH is the first hospital in Florida to receive the award for Cardiovascular Center of Excellence. Big congratulations to them. Well, entertainment news is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
There's dignity, and it's like
Did anyone else get a text from the president today? New tonight. I already get terrifying presidential alerts. They're called the news.
Ryan Gosling's here, and he has a secret. There's a tortellini in the freezer. Plus, comedian Devin Field. Kimmel, new tonight on ABC.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
In entertainment news tonight, a country music star giving back to his community in a big way. Brad Paisley and his wife, actress Kimberly Williams Paisley, opening up a food pantry in Nashville. But this won't be like any other food pantry you've seen before. It'll be set up like a grocery store, which makes its name quite fitting. It'll be called The Store.
There's choice and there's dignity, and it's like walking through a small grocery store, picking out the food that you need for your family.
Ultimately, we want to have job training and, education about nutrition so that people are making healthy choices and ultimately becoming self-sufficient.
Their goal is to serve 3,000 people each year. That pantry will be right next to Belmont University's Ministry Center. The couple teamed up with the university to help make that store a reality. And nonprofits in the area are also helping out too. We'll move over Donna Summer, Carole King, and Cher. There's another diva heading to Broadway. It's Tina Turner. A new musical based on the life of the legendary artist was announced today. It's expected to land in the fall of 2019. Tina will continue a trend in jukebox musical biographies, a list that also includes the recent shows On Your Feet and Jersey Boys. Lots of look at entertainment news tonight. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
There are lots of people who are confused about which Medicare plan is right for them.
Hey, that's me. I barely know where to start.
Well, start here with me, Karen. I'm a licensed Humana sales agent.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Karen. I'm John Smith.
Hi, John. At Humana, we know you're unique, so you have different needs from other John Smiths.
Yeah, I've always thought so.
And together, we can find a plan that's right for you.
Great. I go to the doctor a couple of times a year, and I have some prescriptions, but I'm never fully sure of what's covered and what's not.
With Humana's all-in-one Medicare Advantage plans, you get coverage for hospital stays, doctor visits, and Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable and sometimes no monthly plan premium.
Do you have any more information?
Sure. I'll get a decision guide in the mail to you today. They're free.
Finally, someone who understands the real me.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide. Call a licensed Humana sales agent today.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, it's the Dom Perignon of whiskey, a bottle worth sipping with an auction price of more than $1 million. The bottle of Macallan 60-year was distilled in 1926. The spirits aged and aged and aged through the Great Depression, World War II, and the entirety of the Cold War. Finally, that Scotch whiskey was bottled in 1986, sold in 1994 for $27,000. The dawn of a new century came and went, and after more than 2 decades, it was sold once again. According to Forbes, that price makes it the most expensive standard bottle of whiskey to sell at auction. And that sounds like something right up your alley, Bob.
I'll tell you what, that sounds pretty good. A little bit pricey for me, but well, I'm sure some people could afford that. But I hate to carry that bottle around knowing that if you dropped it, it's gone.
Oh my gosh, I know. Could you imagine?
Terrible. We are looking at some nice weather tomorrow to start things off. Should be really beautiful out there to start things off, and then we'll see just a few clouds and a few showers in the afternoon.
All right. Thank you so much, Bob. And thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a good one.